It was an ordinary Wednesday afternoon in a small-town hospital in Texas. Families sat quietly in the waiting room, clutching paperwork, holding hands, or exchanging whispers. The faint hum of medical equipment could be heard in the distance, blending with the occasional rustle of newspapers and the soft murmur of conversations. Among the people waiting was 15-year-old Ethan, a bright-eyed teenager who loved action movies, especially one starring his favorite actor, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. But this wasn't a routine checkup for Ethan. This was his 4th round of chemotherapy, a difficult and exhausting battle that had become a central part of his life. Ethan had been diagnosed with a rare form of bone cancer 2 years ago. His life had since transformed into a series of hospital visits, painful treatments, and countless moments of uncertainty. He'd lost his hair to chemotherapy, his energy to the disease, and many of the simple joys of childhood to the endless fight for his life. Yet, through it all, he never lost his love for wrestling or his admiration for The Rock. In fact, Ethan had a dream: to one day meet his hero and tell him how much he'd inspired him to keep fighting, no matter how hard things got. Meanwhile, thousands of miles away in Los Angeles, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson was in the middle of an intense workout session. Known for his discipline and larger-than-life personality, Dwayne was preparing for his next big film, a high-octane action thriller that required him to be in peak physical condition. The gym was filled with the clinking of weights, the rhythmic sounds of heavy breathing, and the occasional encouraging shout from his trainer. But little did he know that a social media post from Ethan's mother was about to change his day and his life forever. Ethan's mother had shared a heartfelt post on Facebook, detailing her son's battle with cancer and his unwavering admiration for The Rock. He's watched every movie, memorized every wrestling match, and even calls himself the Pebble, she wrote. Accompanying the post was a picture of Ethan holding a sign that read, "My biggest dream is to meet The Rock." The post quickly gained traction, garnering hundreds of likes, shares, and comments from strangers who were touched by Ethan's story. It wasn't long before the post caught the attention of Dwayne's team, who immediately forwarded it to him. When Dwayne read the post, he was moved beyond words. Here was a young boy facing unimaginable challenges, yet holding on to hope and joy through his love for wrestling and movies. Dwayne had always believed in the power of connecting with his fans, and this story resonated deeply with him. Without hesitation, he made a call to his team and set a plan in motion. "Let's make this happen," he said, determined to bring a smile to Ethan's face. "I don't just want to meet him," Dwayne told his team during a brainstorming session. "I want to give him an experience he'll never forget." Within hours, flights were booked, arrangements were made, and Dwayne was on his way to Texas, carrying with him not just gifts, but also the hope of lifting Ethan's spirits in a way only he could. The next morning, Dwayne arrived at the hospital unannounced. Wearing a casual hoodie and sunglasses, he walked through the hospital's bustling hallways, his presence commanding attention. Nurses and patients noticed him, their faces lighting up with excitement and disbelief. But Dwayne was focused. He wasn't here for the spotlight. He was here for Ethan. When Dwayne walked into Ethan's hospital room, the teenager's eyes widened in disbelief. For a moment, he was completely still, as if trying to process whether what he was seeing was real. "Is this real?" he whispered, his voice barely audible. Dwayne chuckled and replied warmly, "It's real, buddy. I'm here for you." Ethan's mother stood to the side, her hands covering her mouth, tears streaming down her face as she watched the unforgettable moment unfold. For the next 2 hours, Dwayne and Ethan bonded over their shared love of wrestling. Dwayne listened intently as Ethan described his favorite matches and recited lines from his favorite movies. Together, they reenacted iconic wrestling moves using action figures that Dwayne had brought with him. The room was filled with laughter, a sound that had been absent for far too long. For Ethan, it was a dream come true. For his mother, it was a moment of pure joy and gratitude. Before leaving, Dwayne had one more surprise for Ethan. Reaching into his bag, he pulled out a wrestling belt, signed with a personal message. To Ethan, the toughest fighter I've ever met. Stay strong, champ. Ethan's eyes sparkled with excitement as he held the belt, a symbol of strength and resilience that he would treasure forever. Ethan's mother couldn't hold back her emotions. She hugged Dwayne tightly, tears streaming down her face. "You have no idea what this means to us," she said. Dwayne hugged her back and replied, "He's the real hero here. I'm just lucky to be a part of his journey." In the weeks that followed, Ethan's spirits were higher than ever. He faced his treatments with renewed determination, inspired by the kindness and strength of his hero. While his battle wasn't over, he had a newfound sense of hope and a reason to keep fighting. Dwayne's gesture reminded everyone who heard the story of the incredible power of compassion and connection. So the next time you see someone fighting a silent battle, remember Ethan's story. A little kindness can go a long way. And in the words of The Rock, it's not about being famous, it's about making a difference.